I want to welcome y'all to an episode of They Shoulda Never Gave Us a Podcast. This your boy South Beach Smirk, and I'm here with my co-host D. Crosby.
Yo.
And we got a special guest with us today. I'm going to let him introduce himself if he don't mind.
What up, beautiful people? This your boy, B Savage, BS Nightlife, Mr. BS Brand Tees.
Yeah. What's happening?
Cooling, man. Just enjoying the process, man.
Right. Look, with a process or whatever, like, right now, you got your brand rolling, BSTs.
Yeah, BS Brand Tees.
Oh, BS Brand Tees, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? You have different sorts. What all ones you rolling out right now?
Right now, I got the Educated N-Word tee, Educated Kids, Fuck Love tee. I got the Look Sus tee. I got the Mood Cardi, Mood Riri, Mood Anse tee.
Okay.
I actually got a new T-shirt dropping next week. For the fellas, got a shirt that says Zaddy. Just something trendy for, the time.
Okay.
Capitalize on that.
All right. Kind of off, what's up, boy from L.A.?
Ty.
Yeah, Ty Dolly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That mother shit right there. But today, like I said, we had brought B on. I want to say what that was, episode 26.
B got facts today.
Look, you're good dude.
B coming with facts
but episode 26. We gonna jump right off up into it. Me and D, we had our different opinion on the brand.
Right.
Okay. Stating basically like it wouldn't be something of an apparel for me, but I'm not against it.
Right.
Meaning, you know what I'm saying? Like, first off, with the hustle, one thing I'm about everybody getting that money, getting that bread. You know what I'm saying? But first off, before we get into it, explain. Okay, excuse me. For the listeners, we're talking about a brand that he has. It's called, with his T-shirts, it's called Educated N-Word. And like I said, it was just something that I felt that, I wouldn't wear, but also Mr. B Savage has his purpose behind the brand or whatever. If you don't mind, go ahead on to talk to him about it, B.
Well, basically, it's kind of crazy when I first started it. I never had the intention on selling it.
Okay.
I was at work one night going over some different T-shirt ideas for stuff. Just being a big dude, like the more you shop, the more limited you realize you are.
Right.
So I was just coming out with some different T-shirt ideas. Like, okay, fuck it. Instead of keep forcing myself to buy shit I really don't like, I ain't feeling. Come up with some ideas. So the night I went through the process, I was like, man, educated Negroes. Like, man, I was like, it's a little too strong and too forward. And I didn't want to put it out there as if, I'm a racist, or I have something against white folks, and wasn't that. It was just more of like. So I went through this process, and I hit the N-word thing, which is kind of trendy. Like if you just type the N-word on YouTube, you would just see a lot of situations where it's common in white comics where they always say, hey, we can't say the N-word or whatever. So I found a way to say, I'm trying to get my message across, and when you see it, you're gonna know exactly what I mean when I bring it to you. Because in reality, most white folks we deal with, man, 85% of them see us in that sense.
Right.
So the reason for the shirt was more to me beating to the punch, where it's like, man, I know you see me as a nigga or Negro, whatever. That's what you see, whether you want to accept it or not.
True.
Just understand you dealing with an educated one. So some people try to get a little technical and say, well, man, if you're educated, how you educated? We all know our most successful people don't have a degree, didn't go to college.
True.
Whatever. So I think sometimes people try to get technical and try to push the issue like, oh man, why you got an educated N-word shirt on if, you ain't graduated from Harvard.
Right.
Well, honestly, man, you got some cats out here that really did time and learned under the circumstances. You know what I'm saying?
Of jail time, right.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
So, it was just one of those things, man. So it's not necessarily me saying, man, I'm embracing that I'm a nigga or a Negro. It's more of Mr. White Man that so happened to be my boss. I know how you see me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And really, every time you see me with the shirt, it's two types of white folks. There's the ones who embrace us and laugh and think it's cool, and there's the other ones that look and turn the eye up and like, this nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes you gotta just be clever and beat people to the punch. You know what I'm saying? We kind of watching. We in a time right now, man. If if you're not watching, like in the situation with Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying, a dude who out of a job because he just stood for something.
Right.
Right? You got a cat, Eric Reed, who was on his team, a guy who an hour away from us from Baton Rouge, that area.
Mm-hmm.
Man, a dude begging for his job to a point where they done broke him down so bad. The dude said, "Man, if y'all give me a job, I promise I ain't gonna take a knee no more." You feel what I'm saying? And it's to a point where it's like, man, if you don't think it just exists in that form, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you fooling yourself. Nah. What I'm cool with, I never was the type to feel like because I have this shirt, you have to buy it because you're black. Like that'll be selfish. Because I don't buy shit that I ain't feeling alike. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a dude who I never bought a pair of Robins because I thought that shit was stupid. You know, it looks stupid to me with all them fucking
with all that,
all that shit on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, being that I know it's controversial and that's what sells. You know what I'm saying? Like, naturally, one thing about it is now I just embrace the fact that it's a topic for sure. Whether you like it or don't like it, people definitely, because you can't avoid it. Like, you see it every day.
Oh, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You see it every day at this point. You know what I'm saying? So to get back on the first question, it was more of like, man, how could I make my presence felt without insulting somebody? You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Now,
if you choose to take it as an insult, when you look at my definition that I send out to everybody who ever bought a shirt,
right?
If you read that and say, damn, man, that's insulting, you just fucked up.
What's the definition of it?
Like I said, man, it's just one of those things, man. Well, for a lot of people, I think a lot of times, man, is the typical syndrome. Is like, people naturally question more things that black people do,
right?
Like, from a success standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. People just gonna question that. Like, they ain't really, you know what I'm saying? They're not really gonna, question everything that white folks do. Like, right now, I found a definition. The thing that make it so weird, bro, is I had this conversation all the time when my shirt come up. I hear people say, man, I wouldn't wear the shirt. And then I go back and be like, well, have you bought a foreign shirt?
Right.
Which hands down the hottest shirt in the city.
Right.
Right? And it's sold to virtually 98% black folks. None of them foreign.
True.
None of them. You know what I'm saying? So, when you look at that logic, like, man, if you that conscious and if you that deep into it, man, how you got that foreign shirt on? Now, I think it's dope what them dudes did. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it was a cool idea. It's just hard for somebody to explain that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever, in a situation to truly explain to me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's the purpose of wearing it?
You know what I'm saying? What's the purpose of wearing this? I find a definition, but that'd be the things that I look at. Like, if you ain't feeling it, I just ask, man, don't sit in a crowd of people and downplay it, man, because, right. Oh, man, I don't know why y'all buying them shirts, but that shit fake. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, like,
right.
That's just one of them things that I just ain't gonna let linger on. Like, that's how I feel. I be comfortable with telling people, like, man, you fake for that shit. Because right. At the same time, bro, I look at it like, let's say your mom had a restaurant, right? I went there and I had lunch, and I didn't like the food.
Right.
If I stood outside that restaurant and said, say, man, y'all don't go in there, this shit nasty.
Right.
Man, people would, you know what I'm saying? People would literally, man, that's fucked up. Man, why you doing this late at the restaurant?
Right.
Well, that's the same logic I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, you gotta be in a situation where, man, I ain't asking you to buy a shirt. So, that's the only knock I have on it. Other than people talking about it, mm-hmm. it's all good promo.
Yeah,
because sometimes you might be in a circle talking about it. People don't know.
What's the definition?
The definition is this. It's simple. Educated. Having been educated, informed, literate, schooled, tutored, well-read, learned, knowledgeable, enlightened, cultivated, cultured. And the second part of it is simple. Just a member of a dark-skinned group of people originally from the native of Africa, south of the Sahara Desert, related to black people, right? So that's my breakdown to it.
So the reason I don't know if you have the clip from what I said.
I didn't.
It's fine.
I don't have pulled up. Go ahead.
My problem with it, like, cause I didn't understand it. Right. Cause when I hear the N word, I think of the word it's a derogatory word from origin. Right. It's an insult. Not only that, it's an oxymoron to put educated in front of the word because the word has a negative connotation. So how can you be an educated N-word? That was my question.
Right.
Without knowing your definition. So
Right.
Which is so something. What it sounds like, it seems like you're trying to take it as for you're using it as a term of endearment, and it turns a term of endearment.
Yeah,
but
it's really just simple. It's like kind of beating it to the punch. I mean, from a technical standpoint, you can get technical with it all day, like with anything. The reality of it is, when you see the shirt, until I release the shirt with the definition on it, you naturally gonna be somebody who's gonna take that word and you gonna make it work for what your argument is.
Right.
It's just natural, right? And some of that is even purposely done.
But see, like, but it's saying, but if you put educated in front of something, and I'm not one of them people who's saying like just because you went to college you're educated, because I'm a firm believer that experience is the best teacher. Life is your best teacher. You don't have to go to school to be considered educated.
Right.
So when I seen it, I'm like, well, to the educated part, that's cool because I understand how education works.
Right.
Fuck, I'm a teacher. So, but when it comes to the N-word part, that's where I had the issue, because I'm like, well, it could have been an educated Nubian, educated king, educated anything else that's uplifting. But when I just see the N-word, like me knowing what it means, and like the two, because there's two definitions to it. Because you had the definition before, it changed in the Webster Dictionary to what it is today. Because today they try to make it, a little less, they make like today they have it where it's easy to digest versus what it was before.
Right.
You
It's just, I mean, even if you take that approach, the reality of it is this. Mm-hmm. When a shirt was made, it was made for like, you can't change what the meaning of the shirt is if I made it. I pick what the meaning is, right?
True.
Now you could force it and just say, like I said, for your argument, you could force the issue and say, oh, fuck that. Mm-hmm. Man, that means you trying to, put this black fist up to being an educated nigga. And normally people don't like it, that's what they're gonna put the emphasis on.
Right.
So for me, it's more of, if I walk in, if you knew every day, right, and most of us have this issue that we deal with. Mm-hmm. Man, we most of us deal in situations where we work daily with white folks that feel that way, and we even know it.
Oh,
right?
Most definitely.
We know it, and we will embrace it. So for me, my thing is, why say I'm wrong for putting a shirt out there that say, "White boy, I'm gonna beat you to the punch," right? I'm gonna beat you to the punch, as opposed to putting the energy toward.
Oh, wait, so you feel?
Why does white boy feel like that?
Do you feel? So you? I'm not saying you're wrong, but do you feel like, so basically what you've been experiencing is people saying that you're wrong for doing this?
No. I mean, I haven't. They won't tell me that. Most people just don't feel comfortable. I'm just saying,
gotcha.
when you do hear a handful of conversations similar to the podcast, like for me, it's like this, right? One of the things that was brought up in the podcast, I think when it first started off, it was like, man, would you date a woman who will wear the educated N-word shirt? Fuck no, right? Where in my mind is almost like, damn, well, I mean, I got, chicks that, what I'm saying, got 2-3 degrees, what I'm saying, a doctor, you have a couple millionaires.
Yeah, but see, that don't.
Right.
Now, college makes you mean that you were disciplined enough to get through it. That doesn't mean you're smart. I know a lot of motherfuckers with degrees are dumb as fuck.
This is the point I'm making, right?
Uh-huh.
I could almost guarantee, if that's like saying you meet a woman that got her shit together, right? Shit good. She come out and have that shirt on. I'm not about to leave her alone. I'm not leaving her alone behind that shirt.
No, it's not. It's
Well, let me,
at the end of the day, that's fabric. So that's that.
But I'm saying that was the statement. The statement was made. You said
no, true that.
That's what you said. Man, if she were educated and wear a shirt, fuck no, I'm not dating her. That's what you said. So ain't no way to get around that. Now, check this out, right? Give you an example of how things change. Right now, today you have on a Tommy Hilfiger shirt, right? Mm-hmm. If you pull up Tommy Hilfiger right now, one of the statements he made was,
you don't want niggas wearing his clothing.
You don't want niggas wearing his shirt.
Right.
Right? So that's kind of contradicting, because for me, you knowing that, right? And one of the things you brought up in the last podcast was, man, I'm conscious about what I put on my body. Mm-hmm. You didn't use that logic when you got dressed today. For a podcast when you had to come see me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I can agree with that.
So that's the part that make it easy. That's the part that make
what easy?
This, like these type of forums, like with
the brand.
Right.
Okay.
From a brand standpoint, because every day, if you really took the logic of, man, every time I get dressed or every single thing I do, I'm gonna be more, conscious. Mm-hmm. You ain't got enough hours in the day. You wouldn't have enough time to say, fuck that, man. Let me make sure the motherfuckers who made my shades was on the up and up.
Right.
Right? You're just not gonna do it. You feel what I'm saying? So,
good.
But that was the easy one.
Okay. So the difference between what you have on and what I have on, this is a small logo. You being who you are, you understand clothing. So the first thing you saw the label. You're like, all right, cool. That's something I can easily attack. Right. But if I'm just walking down the street, all you see is a plain white T-shirt. Because if I had this shirt tucked in, you wouldn't know what kind of T-shirt it is. But having educated N-word going across my chest, I'm telling the world, yes, I'm educated, but I'm also a nigga. Because no matter, because you can say the N means anything.
Right, if you choose to.
Right, because if you choose to. Because the majority of the people who follow you, the majority of the people who deal with you, the majority of the people in the city, contrary to what we believe, we have more white people here than anything. Or Caucasian people, however you want to phrase the term. Right. My point is, so when you put that across your chest, like me personally, the environment I work in, I couldn't walk in my office with that on.
You couldn't.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I wouldn't, because I'm confident in whoever I am, I do what the fuck I want. But at the end of the day, I know what's going to come with that because of the type of environment I work in or the type of corporation I'm in. So I know for a fact that ain't gonna fly. Because one, just like you said, people choose to be offensive. Because I can't dictate how another person feel, right? So just me wearing a shirt, you know what I'm saying? There'll be all kind of repercussions that I have to deal with just from wearing that. And that comes from just supporting you. Like, so when I said you said the educated kid, I'm like, that one's dope. I'll buy them. I'll buy that for my son. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that's dope. It's just when it comes to the educated N-word, and that's for me. That's the only shirt you have like that, because the other ones you listed, it wasn't made for shock value, and I feel like that show's more made for shock value because in your eloquently, how you describe your definition is kind of more shocking than anything.
Yeah, I mean the reason I'm be honest, I don't really think you would get any more shock value out of just saying "fuck love" on the shirt.
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
Because a lot of women, a lot of men feel that way about that.
But see, it goes to this though. Even when your shirt just says "fuck love," it's not only one race can vouch for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody can wear that shirt.
The thing, man.
So that either way, that shirt right there probably. I don't know what your sales are like, but that shirt right there, that'll go a lot further than that one because everybody can't wear that shirt. Reason what the N stands for.
I think sometimes it's just you.
No, because I was about to say even which the argument that we had on the podcast or whatever, I even had someone contact me and it was like, I don't see your valid point on it, right? I told them, I say, well, only thing I look at it is it's like, with me, I like to wear certain things where when I go in the building or whatever, I can wear anywhere. Right. That's my point on it. You know what I'm saying? But like I told you, as far as branding and, doing what you're doing, I'm for it. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, like me, I know shit. 9 times out of 10, I'm somewhere where, motherfucker might, just like you said, they're already looking at you as a nigga anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're not gonna stay on it too long, but
that's kind of. I mean, honestly, man, that's kind of like I guess the approach. I mean, honestly, the whole purpose of it is for me addressing the fact that we all know that. Like, this is what you see, man, as regardless, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the reality of it is, if us three brothers, man, we walk outside with good intentions, right? With plain shirts on, right? At the end of the day, and most of those people face, man, look at this big nigga with these fucking tattoos, or, that's just how a lot of people view it.
Correct.
Right? And you see it, and for me, it was more of like, damn, like, man, why you gotta be that? You feel
right,
me?
Right.
Why I gotta be the assumption, man? I don't drink, I don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been to jail. You know what I'm saying? So, in a lot of, like for me, it was.
But you kind of just answered your own question. The reason being, because all they're doing is they just looking at the surface. So on the surface, if you have this on the surface,
that's why I feel so strong about it.
Right.
I'll be honest with you, like that. Because I mean, me personally, logically, if I took this right, say I made it a smaller logo similar to that, it don't change what the shirt mean or what it's getting across, right? Because I mean, for me, it's almost kind of like. That's just like you saying, well, man, at the time he'll figure shirt on with just a little logo, even though he racist and he don't want me to wear the shirt. The fact that I could tuck it in, man, I could hide that.
No,
man, like
no. That's not what I'm saying. No.
I'll be honest.
That's not what I'm saying.
I really want you to tell me why you okay with that.
With the shirt?
Yeah, you gotta tell me. Like if you told me, like, damn, I never knew that, I would let you slide. No. But you literally was like, yeah, man, he don't want us wearing this bitch. Being that you know what I'm saying? Like,
the same reason we wear the same reason we wear polo, same statements. The same reason we wore, you wear anything, Gucci, Louis, any of that bullshit.
I could be honest.
Same.
Go.
Any of that. No matter what you wear, there's a white head at it. There's not many black-owned corporations.
Right.
especially when they're dealing with clothing. So the fact that what you're doing, I'm gonna support that all day, because if you go back to FUBU, you go back to Carl Kanai, you go back to any of those, we got them the fuck up out of here, because we ain't gonna wear that shit because it was looked at as cheap.
Right.
It was looked at as that. But to answer your question about this T-shirt, that motherfucker cost, a pack of motherfuckers cost $3 at Marshalls. So that's why this motherfucker is on, because I'm cheap. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not wearing none of that foreign shit. I don't rock like that.
Right.
Cause me living in different countries and understanding that, you know what, how we over here spending hundreds of dollars on that bullshit when you can go over there and actually get that shit for like $30.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You understand the difference in it. You understand the value.
Yeah.
And so when you actually go over there, then it's like, you know what? They don't really care about this shit like we do. To them, it's just regular. So like you see Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger, Polo, them motherfuckers, to me, they're the same fucking thing. Understand we gave Polo a little more because that was considered the it one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just like I have T-shirts like this, I have T-shirts like for Carl Kanai. Cause all the motherfuckers at Marshalls, you just grab the motherfuckers out of the pack and you keep it pushing.
But see, I'm gonna be honest, like, see, that ain't my argument. I mean, virtually outside of my brand, I think everything I wear, a white is at the head of the race.
Oh, most definitely.
So it's,
Yeah.
it's not saying why do you have a white person shirt on. I'm just saying
Right, that
why
particular
you have
one.
that particular one. Who put it out there that you can literally Google right now at the drop of a dime and say it's Tommy Hilfiger races, and the response is Tommy Hilfiger once said that he don't want black or Asians wearing his clothes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So
But I just said you can find the same. You can say the same thing for all three of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I attacked that one just naturally because I just saw you had it on.
Right.
And,
Gotcha.
you know, and I already had my questions prepared. It just so happened you had one of them on. So for me, it was more like when you it's contradicting. If you say, man, honestly, B, I wouldn't wear educated N-word for whatever you know. It's that I just don't. I'm not comfortable with the N-word, right?
That-
But
I'm
on the
saying-
flip side, you telling
No.
me you comfortable with.
So you trying to mix words. What I'm saying, I'm not comfortable wearing that particular shirt. But anything like the educated kids, anything educated without the N word on it, because what that does, that invites a certain type of energy, the energy that I don't want to deal with. Because the energy I got to deal with systemically, no matter what. Okay, where I'm at, I'm the only me there. You know what I'm saying? So me, you don't understand how hard I had to work to get there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, matter of fact, your boys sitting over here, we in the same fucking school together. You know what I'm saying? So like, understanding where I come from and where the fuck I've got to, like, nah, something as small as that to jeopardize that. So me personally, nah, I can't wear that.
Yeah, you're not wrong for not jeopardizing your livelihood. I mean, if you faced with those things, and see that's the thing, bro. Like, one thing I've never done, like I've literally never offered anybody to buy the shirt.
Right.
Not one time.
True.
Right?
True.
And I see it all over the
Like,
place.
Yeah,
That's why, like,
people generally fuck with you out of love. That's why I fuck. Anytime you, no matter your club on the West Bank, when you have the gym, no matter what you did, I'm gonna fuck with you regardless because of
Yeah.
who you was. You know what I'm saying? Go out, everything stick together. So I'm gonna fuck with you off that regardless.
Right.
But it was just when I seen that, I'm like, nah, I don't know how I feel about it. And that shirt was out for a minute before I even said anything about it.
Right. Like I said, for me, it don't bother me from the sense of like, 'cause nobody's wrong. Ultimately, like I'm okay with the idea of people have their opinion. Like it's not a wrong thing. It's just the promotion of it, or when like you know, when I think about some of the stuff I do, like I think the educated kids thing came about to where because I literally told myself that I would never want kids to be in that conversation.
Right.
Educated N-word, right? Even understand what I'm doing, I just feel like I want kids to be as innocent as possible for as long as possible. So educated kids literally came from. I mean, I probably lost easily, bro, 30 grand not willing to sell educated N-word to parents that wanted it for their kids. Easy, right? And that's just something I felt like I wasn't gonna cop out to. Now, out of respect, if you come in to buy a shirt and you just so happen to bring it home to your son, daughter, whatever,
That's your business.
I can't come in your house and take the shirt from you.
Gotcha.
True.
But if you call me and say, hey, B, look, my daughter, my son want an educated N-word shirt, well, nah, you know, that ain't something I'm comfortable with, whatever. You double back order around that is out of my hands. But the whole reason for educated N-words was, you know, it just to, you know, just to kind of keep them from the conversation because I know they're faced with a lot different stuff than we face with. As adults, for me, I'm just a person that just built for just standing what I believe in and look at it like if I walk in this bank, if I walk in this post office, if I walk in this plane, I'm comfortable with it. If you cross me, I'm gonna fuck you up.
right.
Period. And I'm not even dude who living like that. And I said it directly like that because I ain't gonna give you an excuse for getting out of pocket behind, at the end of the day, fucking peanuts. You know what I'm saying? Realistically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gave up. I literally, bro, gave up a job making $70,000-$80,000 a year. You feel me? And
to start your own brand.
To start my own brand. I sold my first shirt November 3rd. I left my job December 20th. You know what I'm saying? Most people, you know how many cats was like, man, you crazy. I'd have never left a job like that.
Nah, we never tell you that.
You know what I'm saying? That's you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now you got to bet on yourself.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You cool with the idea of letting people tell you, all right, if you pay me 70, how much I really made for you?
Really though.
You feel what I'm saying? I
Really
at least
though.
make it half a million for you if you give me 70.
Because I feel the same way, even in the independent lane,
Yeah.
I still have to go through someone to get my work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be a part of it. My whole thing was, man, I got tired of being in a situation where, man, I'm making 60, 70, 80,000 a year. When I really look at the end of it, that shit look good in conversation. But
True.
you made 35.
But yeah,
You feel
exactly.
what I'm saying? You made 35.
True that.
And if you did make more than that, you're playing games, you're beefing with your baby mama to carry the kids this
Yeah.
year, to get back 3,000, all that was stupid.
That's most
bullshit.
definitely.
That's what you go through, right?
Facts.
So for me, those values and grounds alone, I stand for walking up and saying, nah, I've even been in a situation where I was in Subway, bro, and heard a white person see my shirt and say, damn, I ain't even had no educated ones, right?
Come on.
I could have took it there. But that was the bait. I ain't gonna fall for nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it, but it's just another opportunity, man, another situation where I could say, man, you know why I wake up and put this shirt on every day? Because I want you to be uncomfortable in front of me.
Right.
Fuck, we ain't taking out the door and look out the blinds, man. Get this nigga. You know what I'm
But see,
saying?
it's gonna
Make you uncomfortable right now.
it's gonna always be a conversation piece. But one thing I don't want you to do, and you first off, you do what you want to do. But one thing I don't want you to do is, if you're gonna keep that brand, don't put the definition on it. You gotta let it be what it be.
No, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just from at the same time, bro. At some point, is being that as a brand and finances is definitely a part of, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. I would be lying to you if I told you, if I saw it was a market or opportunity to say, man, I can sell 100,000 shirts with that brand, with that being on it. I'm fine with that because at the end of the day, it's not really about what you think. It's about, you know what I'm saying, what I stand for, what I live on. Like for me, I would tell you this. And my lifestyle kind of, you know, goes with it, but I really think about the things I do when I'm wearing it. Just naturally, because my thing is this. I don't want to be on a shade room at some point like, man, this dude, you know what I'm saying, got educated N-word on, but he stole a pack of gum. You know what I'm saying?
Right, no, I got you.
Doing dumb shit, right, yeah.
Just doing dumb shit. I'm smart enough to understand. I would tell you this. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some other cats, when they have it on, you be conscious, because at the end of the day, it's almost like a fight. Nobody want to end up on World Star.
Right.
Right? No, not for the wrong shit. Nobody want to end up on World Star. Like, nobody want to say, like, man, this nigga got on a... You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the way you're going to take it and throw it, right? So I would honestly say, man, there's days where I walk out, and I definitely want to be a model citizen in the sense of... People go through this shit. This shit. All of us got situations
Most
where
definitely.
not perfect, right?
Most definitely.
But for the most part, man, there's a lot of things I don't do or don't even consider. You know what I'm saying? Because of it. But I will say this: it's never time. I ain't lying to you, bro. I done walked in places, bro, and I felt the energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. It's just at the end of the day, it's like this, man. If you take it there, that's just one of the things I'm gonna take it there because I believe in what I'm doing, and I think at some point, bro, you gotta have, you know what I'm saying, those grounds to stand on in some, you know, in some places. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when people send me screenshots or people send me stuff, I ain't lying to you, bro. All I have in my mind is dollar signs. Like, man, they talking. That's what I'm talking about. They talking about the brand. Because I know how it go. Like, I done had people call me and be like, hey, man, I heard these dudes talking about the shirt. I just want to look at it just to see. Man, I want to buy one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love the combo, man. So
Because even with, we're just gonna see, even with the podcast, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, when we discussed it, I also wanted you to come on and defend, you know, your own honor. You know what I'm saying?
Because
just out of respect.
Not only that, at the end of the day, there's, cause as you said, you've already encountered, you've encountered a lot of people that kind of felt the way I felt.
Yeah,
or something less.
Well,
or something,
right.
Or even felt even more extreme.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
have. I guess for me, man, a lot of times I look at it this way, man. Like, if I got 6 or 7 shirts, right, and you're a person who tell me, man, you know, I ain't supporting that educated N-word thing, you know, but I'm your boy, whatever. Man, I got 7 other shirts you ain't ever bought.
True.
I know you ain't bought it because you only gonna get it from me.
Right.
So I know you ain't bought it. So at some point it'd be like, come on, man, miss me with that clown shit.
But see, at the
Like, you know
same
what I'm saying?
time,
You gotta save face. Like, you ain't about to support nothing I'm doing, period, because that's just the way it go. It's just the nature of the beast.
Right.
And I ain't fucked up with it. I understand how it go. For me, I always been like, don't put too much energy on the 1,000 people who not gonna feel it. Focus on the million who willing to buy it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And so that's that's
because even the same thing as far as like us with podcasting, it's different,
Right.
but it's like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna have some that don't like it.
Right.
We're gonna have some that do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, hey, you got to roll off of how you rock
Right,
with yours.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And guess
That's the
what?
safest bet.
Oh, most definitely.
Safest bet.
Most definitely. Because like I said, even as far as we're gonna get into it, but as far as like we're gonna even say educated N word, we already know, Mr. Ti, goddamn. Literature. Look, sometimes his words be too big for me sometimes. But just the other day, yeah, he got. Yeah. But even with him, just the other day, he had a situation going into his own subdivision. You know what I'm saying? And just as simple as he left his ID.
No, it wasn't that. I think how he had the whole situation with Tiny, and that situation, they still getting through it. So they're getting back together.
Right.
So. His name wasn't on the list at the gate, so you come to my crib, I had a gate right there. So if there was a guard right there, you wanted to get in, but I didn't have your name on the list at that time. Right. So with that, his name wasn't on the list. He got into it with the guard. He asked the guard, "Hey, can you just call my wife?" Right.
Right.
But when Tiny got on the phone, the guard started talking crazy to her. Right. So that's when T.I. got pissed off. At the end of the day, he going 50-150 behind his wife.
Most definitely.
So, and like any man would, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, most
so with that being said, that's when T.I., him and the dude had words. Then he finally went on. But after that, T.I. went back to the guard shack,
Right.
Because he just wanted to do with information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because how he got that bad. It wasn't a policeman. He just a regular security guard.
Right.
So he just wanted his information because at the end of the day, T.I. as his subdivision, he brought that house,
Most definitely.
So therefore, he should have access to his own place. No matter what's going on with him and Tiny, his name is going to always be on that list.
Most definitely.
Right. So, and that's where the issue came in.
Do you look okay? What do you think he was right or wrong in that situation?
I'm gonna never tell a man he wrong for defending his wife. No matter what they go through in public, no matter what, that's his wife.
I think the only issue I have with that is when he doubled back.
For what?
Because it was almost like he felt like he didn't defend it enough or didn't say enough when he went the first time, so he went back to.
No, he went back to get the information. Like he didn't have homie information. None of that. B, you've been in a situation to where dealing with clubs. Somebody didn't have too much liquor. You got to diffuse the situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You may want to take it another level, but this is my spot. I really can't go that route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you need that cool down period. You got to step away from that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, and it's even worse if it's somebody you know. Because taking that cool down period, then later on, you may want to go back to the person and then, chop it up, have a sit down and, squash it, whatever.
Right.
But in that period, he went to the house, calmed his wife down, had his cool down period, then went back and just wanted to get the dude information.
Gotcha.
The dude flipped it when he called the police and was like, T.I. attacked him, actually, basically said T.I. told him to catch the street so he can get these hands. But it wasn't that type of situation. So when they arrested T.I., that's why he was going. We saw the video. That's why he going off on the police and all that shit.
You think it was a money grab?
No, I don't think it was a money grab. It was just a situation. Like some people want to get famous for dumb shit.
And B, even with you I'm gonna switch it over to the club sense. Have you ever had somebody with which we already know everybody try to be celebrities. Everybody want to get the VIP treatment or whatever. You ever had to basically go out and get out of line, get out of pocket where you have to get somebody together?
Yeah, it happens often, man. I don't think it's. If you say it don't happen, man, I think at any promoter, I think, especially here, I think you front. You know what I'm saying? It's like part of the culture. I mean, right now, like people so into being VIP or being part of that crowd.
Right.
It's to a point where, probably the biggest complaint for the consumer used to be, like we'd give an event at Metro, man, if it's VIP, why is still taking this long, to get in?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, because we sold 500 VIP tickets
Mm-hmm.
and 30 general admission tickets. Everybody want to be VIP to a point where some people would literally tell you, man, if I ain't got a VIP ticket, I ain't coming. Or if I can't pay, like I've had people call me and say, what's up, bro? How the line looking? Like, it's kind of long. Well, look, me and my partners, we're going to pay $100 a piece to skip that line. Like, huh? Man, we gotta make a scene in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But at this point,
it's really part of that culture. Like,
right.
So, like you telling me you wouldn't pay to go just that $30 line? It got 2 people in it. You got people, dog.
You mean to tell me you gotta just get me to move the barricades?
It's bad, bro. I'm telling you, they got dudes that really clown. Like for them scenes, they clown, bro.
I think one of the worst things, like I used to manage a strip club in Georgia, and I think one of the worst things I had to do it with, they'll hit your phone, hey man, let me in the back. Let me come through the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same club. Ain't nothing. I can let you in the front. I don't have to come.
Right.
But like, if for some reason, coming through the back gave you a certain type of, I guess, mystique, type of. But it's unnecessary.
And we know it's unnecessary for them, bro. You gotta think, man. They got cats. They got promoters that really capitalize off it. Like they got promoters who already got in their mind.
Right.
Okay, I got a particular group of cats that this gonna be my hustle. Right? Because I know him and his crew want to do some extra, come through the back,
right?
Pull up with the police, jump out. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm telling you, bro, they get a kick. And what it is like some people want to be seen by a certain group of people a particular way. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Whether it's just women, whether it's just, man, I want these girls to see me. I'm that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just that simple. And what makes it so different because a lot of women buy into it, a lot of women feed into it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of like the logic where if you get a dude in a SRT8 Charger, right, and a dude who got a basic Charger, and he got 28s on it, what you think the girl's gonna go for? Right?
Man, girls,
right?
they like shiny shit, so you already know they're going with the thing sitting on.
That's kind of like the thing. It's like when you see a guy walk through the door, the millionaire might actually be the guy who just kind of dressed plain, right? But the dude who comes to that business like the Migos.
But it said,
get the action. You feel me?
Exactly.
But it said probably got $5 left in the pocket.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Real?
you know what I'm saying? He asked for a favor to get into tonight. With all that shit on, you know what I'm
You
saying?
heard me?
You see that all the time. So, it just, like I say, it's a culture thing. You know what I'm saying? With that, I know with the situation with T.I., I'm going to be out, like, them do, like, from a standpoint of where they at, bro, I think a lot of times you realize, man, I'm a celebrity that I know you know who I am and what's going on.
Exactly.
So for you to play on me like that, like sometimes it's like, fuck your job, like.
Right.
You just gotta feel. You gotta feel like that. That's just
like, come on, cuz, like, don't play on me like.
you just seen me come through countless of times. Matter of fact, when we was staying in here, you knew you see me coming in, you see me coming out.
Right.
Yeah, like certain shit you supposed to be like, you know what? I'm really willing to go the whole mile. Like, I'm willing to go to jail tonight. I got time.
Yeah, and I think that's how you feel.
Yeah, because certain things you're just not gonna do. It just, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, come on, man. Like, you as a man, social media, the reason we know bitches like Snooki.
Right.
You don't know that bitch if it was for anything
Was
else.
the walker,
like,
right.
Fuck Snooki, you know what I'm saying? Like, but social media, TV, and all those avenues, though, you gonna tell me you don't know who T.I. is enough to say, look, at least let me do this one little check and make sure y'all not beefing. Look, you know what I'm saying? Trying to look, tip down. I know you don't got his info, but it's okay to send me up. You could at least did that.
I think that's what they
just
should have
play on
done.
him, like, nah, he supposed to flip out like that.
That's why I think it was a money grab. That's the only reason why I say that, because my thing is this: you supposed to go through protocol. 9 times out of 10, there's a book. Why you didn't make sure you called the head of the home? You know what I'm saying? And hey, look, this, that, da, 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 da. Simple.
And honestly, bro, and I don't like playing the race card, but was the guy white or black?
It was black.
He was a black dude? Yeah, he was playing a money grab.
That's why I said I think it was a money grab.
Because you would think at least he know. Like, if it was a white dude, you would give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, he might not really know. You might look at it like the typical shit, like, oh, this nigga drug dealer, or whatever the stupid shit is.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, that guy who was at that gate, bro, you know who T.I. is, man. You know his relevance was accepted. You know who he is, he would have been accepted there. You know what I'm saying? So, but the fact that they even couldn't clear that shit up and still took him to jail, crazy.
Right.
You should have been able to pat each other on the back and say, look, Tip, go in that bitch, go home. Ain't no one in the world should have got to if he didn't hit him.
Most definitely.
Going to jail for trying to fight, that's cold blooded.
Now, even speaking of jail, we even got something with my boy. Well, it's not my boy, but I find it funny what he do with old boy Ralo. You know, he had just went to jail from trafficking the weed or whatever, right?
I didn't know.
Oh well.
I don't follow.
Well, first off, he was going on this rant, the fuck 12 rant, you know, with
I know
his
about
new
that,
music,
yeah.
okay. But then at the same time, you saying fuck 12, but then at the same time, these people is on your ass,
Right.
where the feds is involved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So evidently, when the feds is involved, they know something about you.
Right.
It ain't they assuming, they know. But anyway, so you know he got popped, went to jail. So now that he's in jail longer than he expected, he had put out a statement saying that he blamed Young Jeezy from going down the wrong path. Now, my thing is this.
Man, that's cool.
Because me, I'm the type of person, I don't let music influence me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Basically what he was saying was, listening to Young Jeezy, they told you trap or die. Listening to Young Jeezy told you, let's get it. Meaning, however,
Right.
get paid. You know what I'm saying? And for you to say you blame Jeezy for your upbringing and the way you, nah, that's bullshit.
Man, you know,
Wow, I'm like, cause I know you say you want to talk, but I am like, cause I didn't know who the fuck Ralo was.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I'm like-
you know what I'm saying? I know. I just have this thing where I just so happen to know. I don't follow no celebrities unless I know them.
Right.
And it ain't nothing personal. It's just by default. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like I be trying not to personally get distracted for some shit I ain't got. And
Right.
I be feeling like if I could kind of,
I'm like
you know
you.
what I'm saying? So that's why. So, but I see you can't help but to see it. Shit, this time I see it on my feed, and I just naturally get into it because I think that should be funny. Like some shit you just be like, man, that shit funny.
Gotcha.
But to get to that point where it's like your whole promotion or marketing of yourself, then I'm the realest to ever do it. So to make that comment, that just let you know, boy, that jail should get real for some people.
Hell yeah, and not
That shit,
Oh, shit,
what you say when you get behind the walls and don't look like it's closing in on you. You start saying any damn thing.
No, look. When a nigga start talking about taking hands off the clock, oh shit changed.
Oh yeah, because that's what started
Shit get
happening. Then
different.
he talked about something. Young Jeezy was well. Jeezy told you back then in the game, if you get jammed up,
Yeah.
don't mention my name. You hear me?
Yeah, that's different. Like certain shit you can't even explain. Like
Right.
it's nothing logically he could say. Like even if you to try to use somebody who maybe was like somebody who was dead and gone, or somebody
Right.
who, you know what I'm saying? Like for you to kind of like put some pressure on another cat that's out here.
Right.
That historically people know. You know what? He beat the odds. He did his thing. He making legit money now.
Exactly.
So for you to put that heat on him, like to me, that be the shit that I have a problem with. Just the error. It's like
What
certain
that-
shit they make it cool to snitch.
So I was just about to
That's
ask.
a form of snitching.
I was just about to ask you. Would you constitute that as snitching?
To me, I would.
Oh hell
Because
yeah.
technically, like playing devil's advocate, right?
Go ahead.
Technically, he's referring to the music, not Young Jeezy himself.
Right. But still, even when you refer to the music, you got to attach that with the individual.
Because music is supposed to be entertainment.
True.
Supposed to be. They pop niggas every day on Instagram.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Like you gotta sign waivers now, bro. Like it's still a point now where people basically say, okay, you got them guns in there. If you can't prove that was props, we about to sink you. We about to, like they getting it on right now. Literally like popping people off the Instagram.
These
every day.
motherfuckers don't even work hard no more. They sit back at a desk and watch the.
Yo, you ain't got to make it easy out here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They make it, bruh. They making it too easy.
That's what make that part of the snitching. Like you gotta think, like Jesus got a well documented situation.
Yeah.
Most
That's
definitely.
going on. You know what I'm saying? To what nobody numb to it. So, excuse me, for you to make that comment to me is on. It's like if I was into dude, if I was a dude who followed him like that,
Right.
I would look at him different. Like there's no in the world out there to be like,
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know,
'cause-
I don't have no connection to him, so it ain't nothing personal for me because I ain't
Right.
in the streets. So it's
That-
you know
that-
what I'm saying? I ain't in the streets. So I don't really hold none of them dudes to a certain standard.
Gotcha.
Like I ain't the dude who if I see somebody who I heard snitch, I ain't gonna speak to him. I
Right.
ain't so shit.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
say I'm a civilian.
I
So it is
sold
what it
drugs
is.
for like 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be cool and
What
shit.
they said
I was
it wasn't
man,
working for
ready
you yet.
something.
So normally when we have a guest, I always ask this question because I think it's important to tell the youth that, you know, how you avoid certain situations, right?
Right.
So how was you able to avoid that element coming up?
really, man, what made it so crazy, man, I was in a situation when I was younger, man. I was actually a little blessed. Like my family when I was younger, they financially, they were straight. Like I can remember like from 6th grade to maybe 8th grade, going into 9th grade, I used to get like $100 a day allowance, right?
Okay.
Now the crazy part about that was I didn't understand the value of money because, you know what I'm saying, it was like, I look at it now, I'm like, shit, I don't work jobs, that didn't,
didn't pay like that, right?
Blow it all. I kind of got into gambling because of that. I used to be, 14 years old, 15, playing cards in the, in the hood, because of the access to the money, right? So I used to see the people around it coming up with my mom being on drugs, my pop being on drugs. I naturally stayed away from some of those things because of that.
Oh, so
I just kind of saw the struggles, at the early, my mom was going through it. So that was the thing that kind of made it personally easier for me. And joking about it, like I tell my friends, like I never forget, bro. I remember, like, just cause that's what I was around. A lot of the drug dealers was either me and my friends that played ball, and it was just drug dealers. That's what we was around. Right. And I remember getting some crack from one of my people or whatever, and this beepers was popping in, right? And it was so real. Well, I'm trying to hustle at first,
taking
right?
it back.
So I remember, I spent $100. I got 2 for 1. That was the thing back then, right?
Right.
So I never forget. I'm in Lancashire. My beeper going all right. I see my grandmother's number. That's all I was staying with. Mm-hmm. So I'm so hard up to get a sale just because I'm thinking this shit cool. I done gave some of the dope to one of the dudes that we like, man, I'm gonna make the sale for you. The dude standing on the corner, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So the next day, I'm get off of school. I ain't worried about football, none of that shit. I'm trying to go get this little $40.
Right.
So the dude ducking me and everything, right? So all this going, I'm talking about a 3-day span. So I catch the dude about the 4 days.
I'm talking about nigga ducking you for $40.
Yeah,
Ain't that cool?
Right? And I hear somebody call his name out. So I wound up going outside and I wound up punching dude down, right? So it made it so crazy. Like 2 days later, somebody go to my aunt's house and was like, look, tell your nephew don't come back here. The dude he got into it. They didn't tell him why. The dude he got into it with. Got no liar, but got some dudes from Shrewsbury that's supposed to be going to shoot him and kill him and shit like
damn.
that. Now this would be the shit.
Way all the way out there.
This made it so crazy. My aunt called me about it through his mom, right? So she bring me over there on some squash and shit. But me and him knowing what we fought for,
right.
We couldn't even tell our parents. We so young.
Yeah, right.
Tell him, yeah, man, this nigga kept my drug money, so I had to check him.
Right.
So we played it cool for the circumstances, but in my mind, and at the time, my pa was so fucked up, I told him I ain't got the crack. This nigga tell me, well, after you finish selling it, just don't sell no more. You know what I'm saying? So, but after that experience of realizing that I wasn't built for that, or I didn't even have no need for it.
Right.
It was a little easier for me to just be like, try your hardest, man. And I really got into football then, try to keep myself around some positive things or positive people because, because it's so easy to get trapped. And we didn't even have a lot of the stuff we have now. You had nothing to entice you other than what you saw at the time that was right in front of you.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It was either you played football with your boys or you saw the one dude who not playing, but he over there with the car, or he fly, or whatever the case may be. So the thing that I teach a lot of, or try to influence a lot of the little kids from my neighborhood, because I'm still heavy in my neighborhood, is more of like, man, try not to get influenced by a lot of this negative stuff you see daily that we can't avoid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a trap, but once you get in it, you know what I'm saying? Like that, man, I look at people's situation now, I'm just like, bro, like, realistically, the system set up to where, man, you go to jail one time for drugs, you virtually set up to sell drugs forever. It's like a 2% chance that you coming out of that and getting a legit shot. You know
Not only that, you're going to get more time for a lesser charge than somebody with a lighter pigment than you.
It's tough, man. Like, it's just tough. And I be so scared for, man, a lot of the little kids now because, like, dude, when you think about the way the cycle is just taking so much longer, so much shorter to reproduce to it. Now, I can remember if you saw a little girl that was 19th grade, got pregnant, you kind of looked funny. Man, you see little kids in middle school now.
Exactly.
It's almost like it's the trend. It's like the thing.
And so you look at some of the stuff they face with, man, is really, really scary, man. So, I was, it's crazy that sometimes I take my parents going through drug use kind of like as my blessing, I guess, in a sense, because that was a thing that made it easy to say, damn, man, my mom's really, she really going through this. Like, this So I love this one I got. So it was a little easy for me to just be kind of like, nah, I ain't gonna drink that, or I ain't gonna smoke and shit. It's obviously this is my gene, but I might be a natural.
Right.
You feel me? So I try
But you
to
beat those
right.
habits.
So I try to, you know what I'm saying. That was my particular thing, you know. But
So sports. You mentioned sports. I know you played football, but was there any other sports?
coming up, yeah, I played there. I was really good at baseball. I was nice. Just my body size didn't allow me to, you know.
How far did you go with the football?
Well, football, man, it's crazy, bro. Like I went, I committed to Michigan out of high school.
Okay.
I committed to Michigan, verbal commitment. Took it back to open up the recruiting process to be recruited by some other schools.
Right.
And at the time, that John Everett, what made it so crazy, bro. One of the coaches ended up taking some money on me, man, like messing around with my recruiting, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Some finances, like, so I ended up signing with Louisiana Lafayette. When I got to Louisiana Lafayette, I was under investigation by the NCAA. Damn. Right? Because I went through a process of, I committed to Michigan, took it back. I ended up at UL, and my grandparents bought me up. I was the first person on the West Bank with a Monte Carlo that bought the style they got now.
Okay.
So it naturally looked at funny, like, well, damn, you know, he ended up at UL and he had a brand new car, so they had me under investigation because of that. So I was kind of numb to it. That's when I started finding out, you know, and well, I'm gonna say this, right before I went to college, I had a coach call me about the recruiting process, like, man, what decision you made? And I'm like, man, look, I took my commitment back. There was a coach from Georgia, it was Coach Gardner from University of Georgia. So when I told him, he said, well, man, your coach told us to stop contacting you. You had made your decision already. Mm-hmm. So I ended up calling. It was a coach at Florida, Buddy Stevens. I think was the recruiter for them. He gave me the same story. So I actually had a meeting with the high school. You know, my family. They talked about it, and the money thing didn't come until I got to college. But the coach literally said that, like, you know, what's wrong with going to a smaller school? Oh, I don't see the problem. It was the fact that, man, you kind of dictated.
That was the personal.
You feel what I'm saying? You dictated the process, man.
Gotcha.
A lot of them little cats, a lot of people went through it. It wasn't just me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that went through it.
Exactly, because when we playing basketball at Eric, you know, we had to all us use the same weight room. So when we used to go in your weight room, you'll see all the people, like you'll see Reggie Wayne, you'll see Kordell Stewart, you know, you'll see all the schools that people that hadn't got signed to, you know, Thaddeus, you know, going to Colorado and stuff. So when you used to see all that, I was like, well, damn. I'm like, people really be moving out here.
Right.
Because before I went to Eric, I was going to take a scholarship to Jesuit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because for basketball, I'm like, well, shit, Eric is a bigger school. Right. So I'm going to get looks because you have people like Derek, you know, people like LZ Forges, people who really got looks coming out. And at that time, you know, Derek, he was getting looked at by Portland.
Right.
Shit. I'm talking about straight out of high school going to the league. Right. So for me, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to go there.
Right.
Like, it's in my grandma's district. I've been using her address already, so I'm like, cool, I don't need to go back to Orleans Parish, right?
Right.
So bam, go there, see that, and I'm like, so using our room, like I said, like it was like more so inspirational for us because we used to see it all the time, right? So this next story that I bring up is about Kordell Stewart. All right, so Kordell Stewart, he just won $3 million based off a defamation character because somebody, I guess, I didn't know. I mean, we always thought Kordell was a little different. Yeah, he's a little different. You know, we'll say that. You know what I'm saying? He's a little different, right?
Right.
Because even going back, I don't know if you remember my cousin. He played for Eric too, Damon Johnson. You know,
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So even going back for them days, so I was always at y'all games. I used to say, you know, come watch him play, then watch you play. You know, so I remember Bruce Pettingham. I remember all these people, right?
Right.
So hearing about Kordell was a little, you know, hearing about Kordell was a little like, damn.
Right.
Is he really like that? I ain't think he really got down like that.
Right. Me personally, I haven't been around Kordell personally no more than a handful of times, and it was actually mostly at the school. Mm-hmm. So me personally, he never did nothing that I would be able to walk away from saying, yeah, you know, man, Kordell, you know, he gave. Honestly, me personally, I've heard a bunch of stories, but like I say, seeing a man to a man,
Right.
he never did nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just a charge I try to avoid putting on people.
Exactly. So I'm like, if you ain't got the proof, you know, if
Yeah.
you ain't got the proof, don't give him that.
Right.
But do you think it's just from being in that celebrity light, or
Nah, but see, I think what really made it bad for him when he hopped on what's that show, Love and Hip Hop.
loving it?
I think Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Into your life, yeah. They dig into your life too much with that.
That one made it bad
I
for
think
him.
that's from dealing with them celebrity women and some of them being to different shit,
Right.
different men that they hang around. Like for instance, you already know sometimes they always say the birds of a feather flock together. So that's probably. Never know. He probably was hanging around some men that be into that
Right,
freaky shit. You know what I'm saying?
Lifestyle,
And look, next thing you know, hey, you catch the charge.
Right.
You did?
That's tough, man. Like I just, to me, like that's just one of the things. But like, cause I have friends that that are gay. I got some friends that in my heart I feel like.
I'm in
you
New Orleans.
Just, you just, you know what I'm saying? You waiting to come out.
In
you
New
just
Orleans,
not as
right, I feel-
comfortable. You know
I'm
what I'm saying? But it's just. I don't know. That's touching, bro. Because I hate to me, that's one of the things where I just hate to just put a person to bed with another man. You know what I'm saying?
But-
If it ain't your, it ain't your thing.
Statistically speaking, they said if you take a group of 7 dudes,
Random dudes. Oh yeah,
one of them is gay.
I can believe that.
Wait, say that one more time.
In the city of New Orleans, if you take 7 dudes, statistically, one of them is gay or bisexual.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not. We ain't too different from Atlanta.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? They hold a convention down here.
Right.
You know
Most
what I'm saying? So
definitely, right.
there's
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But I just think,
But
this is a good lesson though. This is a good lesson. Reason being because you know how people on social media just be spearing people. And then TMZ, they built an empire just on delivering
Right.
false information or or should we say unproven information or just
Right.
half truths and things of that nature, right? So him winning that settlement, I think that's going to be. I think you're going to see more cases like that coming out where people like fighting back. 'Cause I think one person who really should sue, probably like Chris Brown. TMZ be killing Chris Brown.
They do. I think they're really trying to get him out of here, but they can't. He's
so
too
powerful,
creative, man.
He's powerful.
Yeah.
He does have power, and his power come with his creativity. Because the boy, you can't take that away from him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And with creativity, that it goes a long way. Like we already know, Chris. We're not saying he's no saint,
Right.
but we already know with what he have and the gift he have is going to always keep him up there.
Right.
That's just like how we feel. We talked about R. Kelly. Man, R. Kelly sung those songs that
Right.
we was like, man, when I get this shorty,
Right.
I'm going to have this on my list. So I can't all of a sudden now be like, I'm down playing R. Kelly now.
Right.
I can't do it.
Kev, now B. All right, B. Now, if you know me, if you ever listen to the podcast, outside of the podcast we spoke about, everybody gonna say, D always got something crazy that he may ask a guest, right?
Look, I don't even know what anybody to say, but look, I got to laugh because I knew him. Go ahead.
Being a club promoter, right? The amount of vagine that's thrown your way.
But you got to explain. You got to explain Vagine to him.
B. First of all, B has an educated N word. Prime example. If you take the N word off, he's still educated. That I know about the brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you've been in relationships, you've been out of relationships, still doing your thing. Because for a while now, you've been probably like the most consistent. I think I'm probably factual in saying this. You've been probably the most consistent promoter in the city.
I would say one of them. There's a few cats that I just think when you think about just what G Willie and Stan and their crew doing, popping that, even though they're not working together, they still had they got a crazy run, like they doing numbers. Larry Monroe killing it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And kind of being sort of that I'm out of it, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard for me to, I try to take realistic credit. I coming in the game in 2010, I literally consistently had success up until really the educated N-word thing been pulling me away from it. because just logically it just makes more sense to put the energy into the brand because the money is just so much easier to make right now.
Always trust the energy.
So for me, I'm just a realist. It's like, okay, if just giving 40% to the brand is doing more than what I was giving that 100% to the club life, it's almost kind of like, like you'll be playing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the reality of it is like I'm 36. So from a club standpoint, I can't tell you even for me, like I don't enjoy like there's nothing a club like the club can't bring me any type of just enjoyment at this point. I like going to support my partners. You know what I'm saying? I love going to ball coach. I love going to hangover ball.
And you still,
you know what I'm saying?
advertise for them.
That's what I'm saying. Like I love, like I would, for me, like I'm comfortable with if I never did another party, I would be fine with just promoting this shit.
Right.
And just on the strength, like you know what I'm saying? Just because I feel like it come a time where it'll be different. But the game, the game is good. Like there's a lot that come with it. There's a lot of.
Can you grade like the vagine with certain women? Like you be like, she don't stand up to
the look and
her lifestyle and
you can tell because even when I was in my establishment, you like as soon as they walked in the door, you can pick them. Like, nah, it ain't worth it. Like you can look at the feet. The feet always tell it. The feet always tell it, bro.
It's normally, bro. For me, I can honestly say, man, probably the girls who probably was the girls with the best shapes. It's very few of them that was living up to the hype.
That's true.
It's very few girls that was like when you said like, damn, such and such fine. And if y'all end up getting down a dinner like that, it's a few of them that I could be like
that you could see, yeah.
All right, baby girl, like you work more than just with this look. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely easy in that culture. You know what I'm saying? That culture you're gonna be tested a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because women naturally are attracted to men in power, regardless of what it is. Like if you're a club goer, you naturally gonna be a woman that's gonna kind of attract to guys who in the promotion world. That's just like if you the manager or the shift leader at Popeyes, it may not be women outside of Popeyes that's attracted to him, but the girls who work there, they gonna naturally, you know what I'm saying, be attracted to that. They just, you know what I'm saying, like to me, it's when you see from principals to preachers, politicians, whatever their world is, women flock to them. You feel me? And it's kind of like the same. That's the analogy I always use for what promoters is like. It's crazy. Like women will be surprised how many situations where we respond from the women as opposed to us being aggressive. Like a lot of people feel like, oh man, support they just trying to get all the hoes. Like man, you don't be surprised.
It don't be that.
Like it don't be like you be surprised
when you say that and turn down and
cause like the reason it's a headache.
Yeah.
It's a constant. That shit a migraine, bro. Cause like none of that.
You'll be jumping. Like you'll be surprised. Like it's so crazy, man. Like honestly, bro. If I was a dude, like I used to always have this logic where it's like pussy don't pay my bills, right?
Okay.
If I was willing to say
could though.
If I was
would you say it could?
It could though.
It could. It definitely could. But if I was willing to say a trade, just simple as pre-sale tickets for pussy, if I could say that.
You good.
If I could say, man, it would be a lot of women I gotta put down just for simply
just off of
that. Man, I got you too left. Yeah.
But that's the thing.
But
So,
at the same
but see, that's a
time,
turnoff though. Reason being, like, if you willing to trade your vagine for access, For access, I'm good on you.
But that's why we also say that I wouldn't want that girl who just gonna give it up for a quick meal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, for me, I
don't want no foodie bee.
I'm gonna tell you this is just me. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I ain't really into, I've never really been into women who, like, you not about to 90 day me to death. It ain't happening. Not about 90 day me to death. I'm gonna be honest, like, I just.
Long as I'm letting you go is 2 weeks. I'll let you stall me off about 2 weeks.
Right.
Cause
you ain't about to 90 day me though.
And you know what it is? Like, you have some women, they like to keep you in that conversation zone, reason being is because they want to make sure, the vibe is right. Nah, fuck all that.
Yeah,
look,
all that shit be
look, you know what you want.
Yeah, that shit pretended. Like
And there's a caveat to that too, though.
Yeah,
Cause that too is not clear. If I'm here and you live in a different state, then I
That's
guess
different. That's
different.
totally. You're
But
right.
if we're
Right.
in the
Right.
same fucking city,
Yeah, it don't make no sense. Like, what are we
Right.
doing all this conversation for?
Right. And
Like,
the
we.
limited vibes in the world.
exactly.
I ain't about to give you 90 days with the vibe.
You heard me?
I ain't doing it.
Because then now, when I meet the next one, now I'm out of vibe for her.
Hey, look,
You know what I'm
you got
saying?
too many
We done went to
people.
every restaurant already. What you? We good.
Yeah, I just say, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, and I'm definitely not an advocate for promoting, like, oh yeah, man, just try to smash every woman you deal with. It ain't even about that. It's more like if you have, like, I work hard, but like I work a lot.
Right.
For me, I just don't have that much time and energy to get caught up into. Because to me, if it take that long for you to be intimate with me, you're not even feeling me anyway.
Right.
Right? So I'm in a situation now where
I'm just trying to get something out, man.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a situation now where it's like, if I gotta, I'm never gonna be in a situation where I get married to a woman and she stand up and say the day before the wedding, you know, when I first met him, you know, I really wasn't into him, but he grew on me. Bitch, I ain't
Yeah,
going
no. At the same,
What you mean,
right
grown?
there, let's do it. Like, right there, you weren't really fucking with me. Like you fucking with what I had on.
Right.
So, like,
situation.
Oh, you
yeah.
was fucking with my situation.
so I had
Correct.
not too long ago. I want to say probably 5-6 months ago. I just thought I asked a chick. 'Cause we had been rocking for a little minute. So I asked. I'm like, I told her, excuse me. I don't think you like me. I think you like the thought of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think you like me as a person. You just like the things that I'm capable of doing,
Yeah,
the
like
things
the
I can
situation.
provide.
That's
You know what I'm
what it
saying?
is.
And that be that a lot.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So,
That's easy.
but you single?
Yeah.
I probably should ask that before we
Nah,
got
I ain't
into it.
tripping.
You know what I'm saying? So, like with you been a dude in power. No, that more importantly, you been a dude like with your own. You don't work for nobody. Like you got freedom.
Yeah.
To me, freedom is power. You see what I'm saying?
True.
So, and like you said, women are attracted to power. But what kind of women are you attracted to?
I mean, I definitely like aggressive women who kind of got an idea of like knowing what they want, whether it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I kind of prefer a woman that got a pass.
I'm the same thing.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't
I do
like
both.
them too. Nah, I need you to at least have a whole face.
That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
for me, it's like this. Like, if you haven't experienced the rough side of relationships, you're not gonna understand what value I have to even try to keep me. Like, I want a woman that feel like, you know
Right.
what, I done been there, I done got fucked over, I done got the blues, I done did my horn, I done did my, you know, fucking the friend that my partner was dating her friend and went through all these little phases because I was just looking for love.
We say I'm over.
I could deal with that. You're right. In order for you to feel like, you know what, this one worth fighting for. Like, friend, I'm going to fight. Like, we beefing, but I'm going for, like, for me, like, that's my thing. Like, if you're a woman who, like, you show me every chance you get that if you just not happy, you ain't got my back. See that there? I'm gonna give you the blues.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, I ain't cutting no corners. Like,
Like
if I see you ain't really fucking with me like that, I'm gonna give you the blues on purpose.
Now, growing up, we had this thing like it was an age range. You know, I ain't fucking like if I'm 18. You know, I ain't fucking with a chick.
Right.
You know, I think what it was 3 years. No, 4 years is rape. Yeah, so it was like 3 years. You know, you had that buffer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wasn't fucking with that. 'Cause that, as we call it, that jail bait right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So right now, what I've noticed, I can't deal with young females. Like, I'm 32.
Right.
Like, I really can't do it. Reason being, 'cause, like, physically, I can fuck you all day.
Right.
But you can't hold a conversation with them.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I done actually been in situations where, like, I was dating a girl that was a little younger, and she literally lived up to the bill. I think the biggest issue for us was we was at a point in our life where the reality set in where it's like, okay, and I'm 36, I have a child, right? She 24, 25, no kids, you know, about to graduate, whatever. The reality of it is, she going into a point in her life where now you're not necessarily looking to have a baby. Well, when you're ready to have a baby, I'm 40, man. I'm not having no kids at 40. At least I don't plan to.
Exactly.
So I don't even want, to me, why waste 3, 4, 5 years when you know y'all kind of, you know what I'm saying, y'all not even set up to make sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even designed to make sense, you know? Then, I don't know, sometimes I go to looking at just the little logic, like right now. Like, I really couldn't see myself. I'll probably like a picture. I'll probably see you in certain scenes and then realize, man, 21, 22?
I'm
And
good.
I'm gonna be honest, bro, be like, man, I treat them like they're 17 at that point.
Exactly.
Because logically, bro, like what? I ain't nothing I can really do but manipulate you. Real talk. That's just me. Like I'm 36, you 22, 21. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that takes discipline.
Yeah, dude. Like I just can't.
That takes discipline because
you know
I was just in Urban Outfitter. I was just in there. Fine ass little cashier came down. You need help with anything? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Looking at it, I'm like, oh shit.
No, it's tough. Not no lie, bro. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like little girls right now who truly. This is what I think is weird. If you a little cat that's in your 19 to 23, 25 age, bro, you gotta pick up the litter out this world. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, you walk at like something like Jazz Fest. Every girl out there that's cold, like 20, 21, like the little girls are like really together. So when I be seeing the dudes who be kind of caught up in the streets, ain't really worried about the girl, whatever. I'm like, bro, when I was in school, like they had girls who was cute and shit. We could point back to.
Right.
There were like 6 girls in the school that was nice. Mm-hmm. Like nah, man. Like these little girls are really, you know what I'm saying? They develop different, whatever. And like so, it take a lot of discipline, bro. Like you have some little girls now that we see every day.
Though as a teacher, bro, like,
it's
like even as a teacher, bro, like they be coming to class and they spend so much time with you and being in front of students, like you're in control of the class, so
right.
That's your power, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, sometimes like when you see them and like they be saying little slick shit, and you be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And it's even worse because I teach adults.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like legally, I can fuck you.
Right.
Professionally, I can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they try out. I done been offered threesomes.
I can imagine, bro. I can imagine it because you got to think, bro. Like, I think what it's like teachers, firefighters, and police, and fucking like Santa Claus or some shit. Right. It's like the fucking biggest fetish. For fucking like real talk, like it's like,
Santa Claus.
Real talk, dude. I don't know what it is, but it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about those principles of when you're in power.
Right.
The principles, a teacher. You know, whatever, because you had to think for years, a teacher was considered this old great guy.
Yeah.
You know, this cornball dude. You walking up naturally, dog skin brother, got a little swag. You know what I'm saying? Got a little flex. It's easy for a young lady to look up and be like, and part of this culture now is wanting to be grown. Right? Who makes them more grown than you?
True.
You get what I'm saying? Who makes them more grown?
And I blame that on the parenting too.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, man, like it's just not like that because it's only. Man, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I went to a high school jamboree last year. I kind of stay away from high school games and stuff. Now it's just competition ain't the same. All the ball players gangsters now.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, now that you know what I noticed? Basketball has replaced football.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers care more about basketball than they do football now.
Oh yeah.
When we was coming up, nah, bro. Football players come through, you just stand to the fucking side, let them have their little pick. And you get the scraps.
Right.
Nah? Oh no.
Because I think the transition for them, it's a little easy. Because think about this, realistically, right? If you 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", you literally have a shot. Right? Like for them, like they literally have a shot. Because at this point now, you about to watch the little dude from the West Bank, man, with a Tulane, possibly about to get drafted, Melvin, with the Higgins.
Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up. Go ahead. We're gonna talk about it.
But either way, right? Well, a few years ago, man, you played at Tulane or something like that, man, you didn't have a shot. You look at Alfred Payton, came out of Louisiana Lafayette. Mm-hmm. So with basketball,
another dude out of Eric.
Right. You're in a situation now where your situation is a little different compared to football. Like football, if you're not going to an upper echelon school, in most cases, you're not getting a legit shot.
I thought that trend was changing though. I thought
It's a lot better than it was.
Cause Marcus Colston.
Right,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But every year, it's so many people you drafting just by default. You got 7 rounds,
right?
Realistically, if you make the squad after the 4th round, most people feel like, man, you know what I'm saying? You beat the odds,
right?
You know what I'm saying? With basketball, think about it, ain't but 2 rounds.
2,
right? It's 2.
20.
You know what I'm saying? And they literally going to try to find. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would have thought? Like, I'm gonna be honest. Before Alfred Payton kind of like hit, and when I heard people say, "Yeah, man, Alfred gonna be a lottery pick." Mm-hmm. Right, it wasn't that I didn't think Alfred was nice. In my mind, I was so caught up into the mindset of for the longest it was Duke, Kentucky, You know what I'm saying? Somebody North Carolina,
Right. Yeah.
you just expected all of them to just kind of trump it.
Right.
You literally got a little cat from Chalmette about to be a top 5, top 10 pick and didn't even play last year. Went to school, changed his mind, just said I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is he's 7 foot.
Right.
So when you see high schoolers now, they in a situation where think about the stuff they have that you didn't have imagine Derek Burdett, right? With Ball God and Bleacher Report. You see what I'm saying?
Ball is life.
Exactly.
That's my point. Cause
Just imagine what your situation would have been.
I was explaining that to my students. Cause my students like, they were trying to get on YouTube. They were trying to find me on YouTube. I'm like, they were like, why you on a YouTube video? I'm like,
They wouldn't even know.
bro, first of all, like,
Right.
it was,
They don't
yeah, it was shit.
understand
Like,
this
I'm like,
really
dog,
new generation.
I'm like, in order to have a computer when I was coming up, nigga, you had to have a little change. Your parents had to be good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, I was kicked out of the house at 14. Like, I'm living with strangers. Like,
Right.
I'm staying uptown. I'm living downtown. I'm living on the West Bank. I'm everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was more so like AAU.
Right.
AAU was big for me.
Right.
And none of that, I had to leave New Orleans. I had to go play for a team in Baton Rouge.
Right.
To get my name out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then after playing for the Louisiana Dream Team, then I became top 50 in the state.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then I started getting them letters.
Right.
Because I showed out at Nationals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
when you go to AAU Nationals, then you play in all these different governors games, and they starting to see, okay, that name is more
Right.
consistent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is top echelon talent. Because you're on Nike circuit, you're on the Adidas circuit. Like, you're
Right.
playing against the top talent in the country.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's when I started getting my looks. I didn't get looks because of Eric. You know what I'm saying? I got looks after then when Hurricane Katrina. So like Collins, like our coach, that was our coach,
Right.
Al Collins. He lost a lot of that shit.
Right.
So you really can't go back and get old videos
Right.
of us
Yeah.
like that.
It's so crazy, man. You look at some of the kids now. Take the dude Zion, right?
Oh,
Zion,
that nigga's a
which-
freak, boy.
Freak of nature, right? Think about this. He has so much of a fan base. The dude going into in high school, about to graduate this week, sometime like that.
Right.
You already have 1.5 million strong in followers, right?
Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you already
dog,
have
dude.
1 million
A
as
fucking freak
his
of nature,
junior
bro.
year, right? The crazy part is, those million followers are so powerful. He literally, if he utilized it right, just off money he could make just off of advertising on ads on Instagram, he wouldn't even have to work. He wouldn't have to go to school.
Bro.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
That's why you see these hoes out here selling 15.
yeah.
You know, selling 15. That shit may work
It's
for some
real,
people.
man.
It may not work for some people.
Right.
Either way it go, they
It's a
gonna
market.
get the marketing dollars though.
This is the reality of it. You gotta think, man, if let's say the flat tummy tea don't work, right?
Right.
The waist trainers
Who
too.
cares if you sold 1 million? If you sold 1 million, you was the person that put it, you done made yourself $1 million already.
You right.
You don't give a shit.
Not only that, even if you sold $1 million and you sold them at $15.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You right.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
already there.
You
know
would
what
have
I'm
said, I'm already in the
Yeah, you're in
category.
that category.
Be a
You know what
winner
I'm saying?
already.
And I think a lot of times, man, like, when you see it, dude, like when I'm dealing with the promotion side of it, even when I was doing parties,
Right.
man, when I reach out and send them emails out and be like, hey, yo, what's up, boss, man? I'm looking for some promotion, possibly book you for a host or promote. Man, when you get some of the numbers from these people who are regular everyday people, I'm talking about people hitting you back like, okay, yeah, man, I'll post y'all flyer on my page. It'll be, $400, just there for an hour, $600 for 2 hours, or $1,000 for a day.
Dog.
Boy, stay up. You gotta think, for him to send me that, you really getting this.
Yeah,
You
what you
see what I'm
said?
saying?
You was confident when you sent it.
So
Yeah.
I know this is because when it's sent, they send it in a package, like it's like an automated.
Yeah, it ain't no
It
just.
ain't even you talking
Yeah.
at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
You gotta just select it. Which one you want?
When you see it, man. Let me tell you this, bro, and take this for its word. I'm gonna use on example anybody who you see on social media that's like let's say the Super Scent, not the Crayon Case Super, the Super Scent Super,
Regular,
Tokyo
okay.
even before the show,
Right.
Donovan, King Kieran,
Rob.
yeah, well Rob hella fun. He just haven't made it to that plateau yet. He just ain't made it to that. I'm talking about the people who kind of got that 500,000+ followers.
Yeah.
Because the money changed based on the followers, right?
Yeah.
Like, so for example, I'm use some other, like if you got say 100,000 followers, most of those people you probably can get a post out of them for anywhere from $50 to $150.
Right.
When you get to a point where you got 500,000 plus followers, man, you gonna spend at the least, unless they just showing love, $300 to $400 for a post.
Come on.
I mean, that's like, and that's love. Because the reality of it is, you got to think that's like Q93. If you go to Q93 during the day, you can get a 30-second commercial for like $45-$50, right?
Okay.
But if you go to get a commercial at 12 o'clock at night, the commercial $5 from 12 at night to 6 in the morning.
Come on.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, you just taught me something.
Yeah, that's it. So they still base it based on how many people that they feel like going to listen to.
They can't base it off traffic.
They're going to base it off traffic. So just imagine if you're a person who got 1 million plus followers right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, dude, I'm in groups all day where I get texts and they'll be like, hey, would you like such and such? I literally, before I walked in here, I just did a promotion with Carly Red, right?
Real quick.
That, man, that shit cost me for 2 hours. Paid a couple $100 for 2 hours. That's you gonna pull down. You feel what I'm
But
saying?
it's gonna also build you
know what I'm
up.
saying? You moving it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, B,
Sometimes you
B,
gotta,
I just want to let you know
Yeah.
that this goes on YouTube, it goes on iHeartMedia,
Yeah,
this
cool.
go. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So you can get your shit off every time for free.
Yeah.
over here.
You hear
You know
me?
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So it's just cool, you know, like to kind of watch it work, bro. And I say all that to say, like, man, the thing, man, you got kids out here, bro, they can literally sit back. I'm talking about little kids that's 17, 18, that's making $200,000-$300,000 a year right now.
Right.
I'm talking about easy bread. Like, I would love to see how much money. I know, y'all have kids?
Yeah, both of us.
Y'all familiar with the little kids on YouTube, man, little white kids do the toy reviews, like Ryan toy reviews?
I know this.
Listen to me, dude. I would hate to see what they check from YouTube is.
See, that YouTube money ain't crazy though.
It is.
No, it ain't. I found out it ain't.
But you don't, all right, you get 10 cents a click after you gotta have 100,000 subscribers, right? After the first 100,000 views, you get 10 cents a view.
And look, you know what's crazy? Like right now.
So that number crazy when you get.
I'm saying for a child, yes, but for an adult though, it's not that good because like when you have, it depends on what you're doing. For that particular individual, yeah, it's gonna be good for them. But for like we'll say like Joe Budden, are you familiar with the Joe Budden podcast?
Yeah.
All right, so for them, they splitting that pot 3 ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then all the content that they literally giving you 2 hours of content.
Right.
So the money for them, the money doesn't equate.
Right. Well, see, it's a little different. Like, yeah, I think Soulja Boy came up through that line.
But that was ringtones though.
No.
No, he
was
he was kind of the
Soulja
YouTube.
Boy first check from YouTube was $30,000, right? The first check. Right now, literally, people like the Justin Bieber's, like, dude, if you go do that, like they got YouTubers right now that's doing $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a week,
Now, bro,
and that's peanuts compared to.
no, but does that have anything to do with how the record industry is now? Because back in that time, you more so worrying about moving CDs.
Right.
Now that everything is based on streaming,
yeah,
I think that
it's a little
that number's going down.
Yeah, well, what they're doing now is because you got to think they got to give you even a percentage of, like, say for instance, if you go live, you see it on the Breakfast Club most of the time, right? They put up a trending video, and they'll have ads that pop up in between. But naturally, you got to give a percentage of that to the people on the Breakfast Club too, because you selling that slot.
Right.
That's their slot. You got to give them a percentage of that. You know what I'm saying? Just by law, you got to give them that. But the simple numbers, and I'm telling you, if you Google it, they'll tell you. If I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, it was like you got to have to qualify for this, like 100. That's why so many people push the follow me. You know what I'm saying? The subscribers,
Right.
Because you got to have is a limit. Is a certain amount of followers you got to have, right? After the followers is once a video hit like 100,000 views. Every view after that, after people watch up to 30 seconds of the video, you get 10 cents a view. 10 cents a view is a lot when you got 7 million views.
Right.
That's a lot of 10 cents, cuz.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without calculating, like, that's a lot of 10
Most
cents.
definitely.
So when you think about, because they literally show, matter of fact, like they sending plaques out now to certain people. You know what I'm saying? Based on the type of checks they sending you.
Once you hit 1 million views, you get the plaque.
Yeah, it's great. And I think eventually it's coming with Instagram. I think
But that's the thing,
I think eventually it's
But
coming.
you know those views are factored in. Like so with Facebook, Facebook also do the same thing.
Right.
So Instagram, so all your views on Facebook, all your views on Instagram, all that stuff is factored in. Especially so, anytime somebody views say you put a video up on Facebook, right? That view that's on Facebook also goes to YouTube because Facebook is not linked to YouTube.
They link it from YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like they really, and that's what makes it crazy because right now the new trend, well, it's been, I ain't gonna say a new trend. Facebook, most people just literally copy a topic and put duds up. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if I get the hit, they have people, you go look for a new Drake song.
Right.
Somebody just kind of copy and paste and make it, you get on it, which might be sound like Dilla's music playing.
Yeah, for real. Because that's what they're doing, so they can get them ratings and them views
I
up.
don't give a shit if you click on it long enough. You know the song stop
15 seconds. That's all. That's all it takes.
15, 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's definitely a wave. Like it's some money being made out there. You know, in that industry. So like just to even think, like the young kids have that have that ability to have, like right now, like it's more, man. Every naked girl you see on the internet now getting the earful about that wave is, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, most definitely.
Like, I have a stigma. Like, how do you feel about it? Like, when you actually looking at, like, for me, I like the 2,000 follower type. I'm more in that region. That's the ones I kind of look for. You know what I'm saying? Because once I start seeing that 10,000, I be like, nah, she got an attitude I ain't really trying to deal with.
That part don't bother me because I know a bunch of hoes that only got like 200 followers.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, I'm saying I do too. Right. That's what I'm saying. But it's like,
I'm
talking about, but the attitude changes when they start.
Once
They
they
get to a certain level, you can't even talk to me after. What did say? You can't even talk to me after 5, huh?
I'm like, I was sticking my thumb in your butt when you back then. Like, what you mean? Like, you the same person.
You can see
right. Like, Instagram, you famous. But to me, like, yeah, you still her.
Really?
I'm gonna tell you, it take one time for me to reach out on any level. I don't care if it's personal business, whatever. And you make it seem like because you got so many followers that you can't like filter it out. Like
you know who hollering at you.
Like when I think this bothered me more. Like if you're a person who got like say 15,000 followers, but you got like 4 pictures, stupid shit like that.
No.
Like
I used to think that same shit, but I found out this is what that is.
It's the game.
No, it's the rebrand. See, you got to rebrand yourself.
After you fell off, or
ever so often,
just
you know what I'm saying. So notice that when chick get pregnant, she don't post shit. Them pictures gone. All right,
but she ready to show you that.
Right, you know what I'm saying.
See, this my
deleting
thing.
all that shit.
But this is my thing, right? Even with them doing that, all they archiving pictures now and all that shit. My thing is this, bro. If you make a conscious effort, right? Because I know girls who will post a picture. The picture may get 1,000 likes, whatever, right?
Right.
They'll purposely take that picture down because naturally, the way Instagram set up is, the more quality picture you post, and the more people that like your picture in the first 10 minutes, gonna dictate how many other people they put on your feed.
Right.
Right? So what they'll do is they know that, okay, this picture is one of those high volume pictures that every time I post it, people gonna be all over it, right?
Right.
And they literally know, okay, I know little girls that post the same picture probably once a week, every week. But she gaining 30, 40, 50, 60 followers or 100 followers
each week.
Every time. And she just, but to me, it's like, always like the people who do shout out for shout out.
Gotcha.
Like some of that shit be just like, if you're not going to really do nothing with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that shit just kind of, that shit corny to me. Like, Instagram, like,
exactly.
With this shit, man. Like,
exactly.
Post that shit, let it be what it's going to be.
Let it be.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you do have an